Welcome to Investors Insights. Our topic today is cutting supply. We're excited to have you with us here today and always appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to listen to our insights for this week. I'm joined by my distinguished colleagues, Trey Booth and Ty Miller, and we think we've got some information that will be valuable to you as we continue through this week, and also what's the rippling effect about what we're going to talk about. We also know that right now with the volatility in the markets, a lot of clients have questions. What's going on? When do we think things could be less volatile? Let me just start off by saying this. Midterm election years are always volatile. I've been doing this for 40 years and I've never seen one that wasn't capable of causing a lot of nervousness and anxiety as we approach the elections. Here at Five Plan Partners, we're going to keep you updated each and every day with information, and we're available all the time to have conversation with you. More than ever, the information age is alive, and we want to make sure that you're getting the right information that is really tied to your portfolio and your financial blueprint. So let's look at some details behind the scenes, though, in terms of OPEC and also cutting supply. So with that, Trey, go on and talk about, are we going to see prices come down at the pump? Are we going to see OPEC cut production? What topics do you have there?
Yeah, thanks, Greg. So this week, for the first time since really 2019, OPEC will be meeting in person in Vienna. And the talk of the town, which is moving markets this morning, is that they're talking about cutting production by 1 million barrels per day. Now, last month when they met virtually, they discussed and followed through on cutting their production by 100,000 barrels a day. That didn't appear to have the impact on the energy market they had hoped. They're definitely appear to be wanting to push for prices to go higher. So 1 million barrels a day cut will be definitely sizable in terms of the impact on the markets. We're seeing it this morning. Oil prices are up 4 to 5% just on the rumor of the news. It'll be good to see how markets react to the actual news once it occurs later this week. What's also throwing a little bit of a hinge in this is that one of the OPEC Plus members, Russia's oil minister, is under sanctions and legally cannot leave Russia. So how he will be able to be part of these talks will also be something of watch closely. But definitely a big part of where we've seen the supply of oil stay high and we've seen oil prices come down. That has been a huge help in the last couple of months in terms of our CPI. So it appears OPEC is wanting to turn that around and push our oil prices back up. So it's something we're watching very closely because that bleeds through the market and the economy pretty quickly. So something we're watching closely.
But in addition to that, there's numerous things that could occur after OPEC makes their decision, which could help in maybe keeping oil prices stable. In addition to that, you agree with me, geopolitical, we've got a lot of that going on right now between the war in the Ukraine as well as this oil issue, and those kind of scenarios can change on a dime as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an ever-moving world. This will be a big data point this week for us to close out the year.
Yeah. So the point we're making here is that we don't want to make knee-jerk reactions despite what the news headlines possibly could be. We need to wait and see what actually happens in these kind of scenarios. And Ty, you've got some interesting information in terms of on the opposite side about inflation. Talk about that.
Yeah, so cutting supply isn't always a bad thing. We've seen a good sign here of cutting the money supply down. As you recall, we mentioned it before during the pandemic. The government was printing a lot of money. People weren't working. They needed to be subsidized. We printed a lot of money. That typically has a 13-month leading indicator of CPI. So, and that, of course, is inflation. So with us bringing money supply down now, we're at about 1.5% growth, which is way below normal. Normal was like 4%, 5%.
Right.
During COVID, it was up to like 9. Now we're down to like 1.5. That's a good leading indicator of inflation 13 months from now. Now, I know you're thinking, that's 13 months from now, but it has steadily decreased. We are kind of getting in that sweet zone of we brought it down to 4. Now we're down to 1.5. So we should start seeing an impact here, maybe 6 months or so. And one analogy that we've seen with or that I've used before with CPI is, if you have $10 and 10 apples and that's your whole economy, each apple is $1. If we print more money and we have $15 available, but still just 10 apples, now every apple's $1.50. That's kind of what we saw during the pandemic, and even, producing less than 10 apples. Now we're getting back to the normal 10 for 10.
And I really appreciate you saying that, Ty. Folks, I can't emphasize enough, if you've been watching the vlogs, to go back and watch a few others, because those are examples that we've given that as we've moved forward in this year, how inflation is starting to erode. We're starting to see that break down. Now, it doesn't happen overnight, but those are trends that we're looking ahead to see where we could be down the road. And that's very important that we track that. So you've had two great examples this morning. One, OPEC may cut production. The news media will be all over that from the standpoint of oil prices may spike up if they make that final decision. But there's also rippling effects and other things that can be done. So don't be alarmed when the announcement comes out. Number two, from the standpoint behind the scenes, we're seeing a gradual decline of inflation. You may not be seeing it fully in your pocketbook at this point, but in terms of where we're seeing corporate earnings, where we're also seeing growth in the economy, different sectors, all of this comes together and ties into your portfolio and the overall economy. So we feel very good about where we are right now, despite the volatility. And we also are looking forward to getting this midterm election behind us. Regardless of your political views, you just need to know this is a year that usually is volatile. We hope you continue to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, because we like to provide additional insight and information out there. We also have our podcast and our YouTube channel, and we also are sending out letters to our clients to keep them updated. And then the other thing that's most important, as we call it, high tech, high touch. We can bring you this technology here, but we also like high touch, and we thoroughly enjoy interaction with you one-on-one. So if you need to talk, don't hesitate to give us a call. If you need to arrange a WebEx or a Zoom, we can do that as well. We're here. We will get through these times, and keep this in mind. Today is October 3rd. In 90 days, we will be in 2023. And from our standpoint, and in watching your financial blueprints, as well as your portfolios, we're planning ahead as we reach that year. Have a great week. We're going to keep you updated. And again, we thank you for believing in us. And just know every day we strive to help our clients have a better, richer, fuller life. Thanks.